Alright, now I'm about to take you on a journey on how I came from $0 to making my first 100k in just 3 years. So keep in mind, I'm just from a broke average family in a third world country, Uganda. So I was definitely in a very bad position. So the whole purpose of doing this video is to just inspire someone who could actually be in the same position. But one thing I know, most of you guys could actually be in a better position as compared to where I was. So if you guys like this video, please consider smashing the subscribe button and let's dive into it. So back to where the story starts. So I'm born from an average family, and now to me, from the time I started understanding about money, I literally got this urge of wanting to make money. Even when I was in school, I still had that urge to make money because I could hang out with some young kids from possibly richer families, and to me it created up an urge in me that I needed to really change up things and find a way to make money. So whenever I could be in my school holidays, I would try to find out ways, but I was still in a very bad position because I'm young. I'm about 14 or 15 years and I can't do anything. I can't be hired anywhere. But still, I didn't lose that urge. So the whole story starts in 2019. I was 18 years old and I'm at a point where I need to find money. I was just getting done with my high school, and to me, I was really so tiny, I couldn't be hired anywhere. So the only option that I had was to find ways on how to make money. Now, one thing that I'd learned already was it was possible to make money on the internet. At least I knew that from the time I was getting older. I knew people could be able to make money from YouTube. I knew people could be able to do this and that. So that was the only option. Now, I was in a position where I had no money, I have no skill, and I'm just literally there with some fake Android phone, but I need to make money. So you can imagine the situation that I was in. So to me, the first thing that came into my mind was create a YouTube channel and start posting, but I have no camera, I have no nothing. So I felt like I could be able to do screen recordings of my phone and then post them, but I had no skill set. So I created a YouTube channel, but I had nothing to post. So the first hustle that I ever did was literally so creepy because I was at a point where I needed to find money to be able to start up any other online business or buy anything to start my business. So at that point, I was literally taking anything as an opportunity. So what came into my mind was you could be able to locate places on Google Maps. You could go to a hotel in your local town, tell those people that you are going to put the location on Google Maps so people can be able to find them. And I wasn't hesitant. I walked out and started doing this. Now, keep in mind, I only have a mobile phone and I have to go to a place and convince the people. So I remember I had to go to a petrol station and I'm like, I'm here, I'm going to locate your place on Google Maps so people can easily search for you, but that wasn't a good idea. So I go ahead and try it with different places. I even tried out with some hotels, presenting my ideas to them on how I'm actually going to increase the reach to people. And others bought the idea, but then others literally dissed it. But to those ones who bought it, I was only offered literally less money, about $5. That's about 20,000 Ugandan shillings. And to me, that was a big deal. So you can imagine by then I was worth $5 and then my Android phone. But that was a way to keep going. So I did this for multiple times. I tried different businesses, reaching them out, bringing my ideas, but I'm just some small young tiny boy and just a few would believe what I was doing. So I knew this wasn't going to take me too far because from the money I was making, I would get money to get data for my phone and the food, because from that point I wanted to take full responsibility for myself. So by the time I quit that business, I'd literally made maybe about $30 only. That's about 100,000 Ugandan shillings. So I had to leave that. So the second side hustle that I did was photography. Now at this point I got lucky. So I happened to go staying at my uncle's place and he had cameras. Now keep in mind, I have no clue about how cameras work, but one thing I know is I could be able to use this camera to make money. So I needed to find out a way on how I could even be able to use the camera. So I tried out reaching a few people around to teach me how to use the camera, but nothing was important. But I knew I could still be able to learn it on YouTube. So I started off learning on YouTube and I understood how cameras work. So guess what? It was again time to step out. I would literally walk out to town whole day trying to convince people to take photos, and I was just a beginner. I have no good ideas about editing, but at least I had the camera. So I did this a couple of times, trying to get people to take photos and convincing someone to bring someone else to me, and at some point I even got hired with a group of other people to go cover up a function. So it was obviously a good hustle too, but the money wasn't still enough because I would be paid about $10, that's about 30,000 Ugandan shillings for a whole day of working, and you have to get food off, transport off, so that also didn't literally reach my goals. So I came back to the drawing board, and what I had was Instagram. Now I have the Instagram app in my phone, and by then I bumped into a video by Bihaza talking about the fact that you could be able to sell Instagram pages and all that. So I'm like, wow, this could be easy money, I could be able to do this. And guess what? So I start learning on how to grow Instagram pages and all that, and surely that worked because I started growing up pages to 5k, 10k, and sometimes I get blocked by Instagram, but for those ones that could actually reach 10k, I would list them off on a website, and though the offers weren't that great, but at least I would be able to sell them. But in the due process, I learned how to grow pages, how to increase the engagement on Instagram, so at least I had a very good skill on the side. So I did this for a number of times. I would grow these pages, list them off on the websites, and then get people to buy them, and getting a few dollars, about 20 for the maximum it would be $100 for an account of about 10k. So I really did this, but it was super tiresome because I would have to follow pages and follow pages and follow until I hit the milestone. So it was definitely bringing in some money, but so hectic. But on the other side, I'd learned how I could be able to grow these pages, so I now had something to present on YouTube. So I start off with doing screen recordings of my phone and putting these things on YouTube, how to grow your Instagram page and how to do this and that. But I wasn't getting any views. I don't know why, but I wasn't getting viewed. I guess I was really too young and the type of presentation was really so bad. So I would just post, but no views completely. But in the due time, I start on freelancing. Now I knew there were sites Fiverr, Upwork, and freelancer.com, so I knew it was possible to make money off there. Like someone would hire you, you do the gig, and then you are paid. I'm like, whoa, this is a great one. So I sign up for these sites. Sometimes I would sign up as a graphics designer because I'd learned some graphics along the way, and then a photo editor because I'd learned some editing in the due process of taking photos, and then sometimes as a social media manager because I'd literally learned all these things, and surely I was making money. Now you can imagine I have two hustles running at the same time. So I'm growing these Instagram pages, selling them off, and I also have my other freelance work running. Actually, I was also writing articles on some websites. I can remember well, it was called copywriting.com. I would write articles, spend an hour, and then I'm paid about $10, and I also have the other hustles running. So surely at that point I was making money. I was starting to live a little higher than that average kid in the village in our hometown. So I was definitely getting better, but again that wasn't that much because I was still searching for more. Now by then, that's 2020, we have lockdown in, and I have a lot of time home. I have a camera inside the house. I also know how to grow these Instagram pages. So I start searching up for more knowledge. How could I actually be able to monetize my skill set? Because I've tried off YouTube. I would set the camera in front of me, press record, and then come running to sit down, record myself, and then do the editing by myself. But still, I wasn't getting any results. So I'm like, how could I find a way on how I could be able to monetize what I know? How can I be able to sell the skill that I actually know? So what came into my mind was finding ways, and then I bump into a website called Udemy. Now by the way, all the things that I'm sharing in this video are still up to date. You could still do the same things and be able to make money. Now so I bump into Udemy. It's a site where I didn't have to pay a subscription fee. I only have to upload my course, and then when someone buys the course, Udemy takes off their percentage, and I also get my percentage. I'm like, this is amazing. So the whole task ahead of me was lay down the course. How do you even grow an Instagram page? How do you even increase the engagement? How do you increase the followers and all that? So I had to sit down, lay out the course, and then every morning I would sit in front of the camera, record myself, edit that, record myself, edit that for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I think, doing all that, and then I have the product out. So I list it out on Udemy, and surely I had no skills about selling. All I knew was this site is a website where people can be able to buy courses. So I only had to do some research about people who were in the same niche, selling Instagram pages and all that, and I just had a few ideas on how I could be able to list out my program. So I put it out for about $14, and I did get some sales. I made up to $100 in my first month. Now imagine I just listed out the course and I'm making passive income. Now these were some of the most productive years of my life. So I also went ahead and published an ebook also entirely around Instagram pages, because I knew I could be able to publish this book on Kindle ebook and people are going to buy the book and I'll still make some money. So I'd literally wake up at around 4 a.m. in the morning, type the book down, do the edits. It also took some time, about 3 or 4 weeks. And then I also had to design the book cover all by myself. And then I was able to list it out on Kindle, Amazon. And surely I also got some sales, though they weren't that much because it was only selling for about $5 and I have no audience to sell it to. I just put it out for people to buy. So it was definitely some great time. I had 3 businesses literally running. I'm selling Instagram pages. I'm also selling a course on how to grow the pages. I also have an ebook on Amazon, and surely it was amazing. So by the closure of 2020, I'd literally changed. Like, there was some change on my whole appearance because I was making some money. I'm home and I don't do any work away from home. So there was some change, but again I was still seeking more improvement. So by then I was reading a lot of books and I would only download them for free on the internet. So what came into my mind was, how can I make money off these books? Like, it was all a whole pattern of trying to find money, like finding an opportunity in everything that I would always bump into. So what I did was I opened up an online bookshop, and by then it was Facebook. So I had to list them out for about $5 and stuff, but there was no clients until I came to a point where I had to do some Facebook ads. Now to me that wasn't a big deal because I knew I would invest $5 into the adverts, but I would be able to make more money from the books that I sell because it was just an online format. I only send you the copy through your email and we are good to go. So I had to list them out, did a Facebook ad for about $5 to $10, reached out to more people, and I just got a few clients buying because I guess I wasn't that organized. So it was also a good one. Just sold out a couple of books. I think I made about $30 only and I had to let go. But my other hustles were still running. So along that I happened to bump into drop shipping. I got about this idea that you could be able to sell products without you having them physically. So I'm like, whoa, this could be me. Because I opened up a site and then I tried listing out some products, but I had no clear idea about this. But I didn't do anything big around that. Keeping in mind, I'd gotten the idea about trading some time back. So all along I was still studying because I had a lot of time. I mean, I would be in my room locked up. I have a camera, I have a computer and internet. So all I have to do is utilize this. So I was spending a lot of time watching a couple of YouTube videos, learning about trading while my other side hustle was also running, and it was really worth it because all the time that I spent indoors learning about trading, literally about the whole year. 2020 was a full year where I was locked up in doing these side hustles, learning how to use a camera, learning how to trade. I'm just supplementing on what I knew before, and I think it was close to the biggest time I'd ever had in my life. So 2021, now 2021 comes in, I'm 20 years, university opens up and I'm expected to go to school. And guess what? I had to go to school because I was still under my parents. I'm making some money, but about school, I'm still under my parents. So I go to school, but my mind had completely changed about school. Like, I had no interest in school anymore. So I had to pay half tuition off to the school and kept the half tuition to myself because I knew I would still be able to start up something. So I decided to go full-time trading because I felt like this was for me. I tried dropshipping, it didn't work. But then I had the other side hustles working, but not that much. But then as compared to the traders that I was saying, I knew I was going to make it over here. So I go to school, and then my first month I'm just in school and what I'm doing is trading while others are studying. So I continuously lost interest in school until I decided to drop out. Now that was 2021 around Feb. So I was just planning on faking results and lying that I was still in school, but good thing lockdown came in back. So from that I decided to go full-time trading. I wanted to do this alone, and guess what? It was really worth it. 2021 is literally the best year that I'd ever had. Remember, I've gone through 2 years of struggles. I've done all the online hustles that I could ever find, and I have still not moved ahead. So when I started off with trading, I had $250 that I had saved up from the tuition, and it was my starting point, and guess what? It was worth it. So from my first 3 weeks of trading, I was able to grow the $250 to about about $1,000, insane. And then by mid-year I was able to make my first 60k. Now this was definitely overwhelming because we are still in confusion. My dad still wants me to go back to school and I don't want to go back in school. I'm doing trading and the whole thing in my heart is I just need to get results and prove that school wasn't worth it. So that was the whole idea behind. And then I'm out of school and I am literally entirely focusing on trading. So that was definitely some insane stuff. So by close of 2021 I was able to hit 100,000 and that was definitely so insane. So I was able to do all that in only 3 years. So that's just a story on how I came from $0 to making $100, and I really hope you guys find a lot of inspiration in this. And keep in mind, these hustles still work. You can still do the same things in a better and an organized way as compared to what I was doing, and you could make a lot of money literally doing those. You would be able to grow Instagram pages and sell them off. We now have even TikTok. You could grow TikTok pages and then sell them off. You could be able to sell a course about what you know. Let's say you know how to grow Instagram pages. You could be able to do that. You could also be able to start a YouTube channel and start posting, because for me that's what I went through up to this point. So I really hope you guys found this video so inspiring, and please consider smashing the subscribe button, and let's meet in the next video. Out.